Hey, what's going on? It's Young Link Jr. So you have Kanye West. He has his Yeezy show, okay, going on, and he decided to put on this White Lives Matter apparel along with Candace Owens. So we know Candace Owens, conservative, and think about her. I used to be a big fan of Candace Owens. Until then, she kind of denied the systematic racism that goes on in America. Then I just didn't like her comments. It's just one of the reasons I didn't really enjoy her comments about like she believed that Derek Chauvin didn't have a fair trial. Clearly, I was following that, and it wasn't biased at all. I mean, this man killed George Floyd, knee on his neck for 9 minutes. We know the whole spiel and the whole story about that, and it was completely uncalled for. He had to be held accountable along with those other officers. So some of her takes on what goes on between African Americans and law enforcement at times when the media push this and they get killed over just small things like little traffic violations. Now, I'm not saying if they go ahead and hurt someone or murder someone, that's a little different. But at the same time, they should have a way or a right to. I just wish you'd be a little sympathized for that and speak up for our people, that you have like the Reverend Jesse Jacksons or the MLKs, and consider her as a black woman. It's like, but getting back into Kanye West, I mean, I'm not surprised. Kanye West hasn't been the same, and this is my spill on it. I know some conservatives, not saying all, but a lot of conservatives don't see an issue with this because Black Lives Matter movements ran by liberals, okay, and you go on their website, it's kind of go against their beliefs in a way that hey, the majority of their agenda is pushing for LGBTQT rights, okay, transgender rights, gay rights. And yes, it was an inspiration due to Trayvon Martin getting killed by George Zimmerman. So I mean, at the end of the day, they looking like, hey, they want to go ahead and just push this gay agenda, which is wrong on completely levels. And I agree as a Christian standpoint. But at the same time, too, I look at this a lot of good in that what's going on because now we can shift our focus towards the main issue that goes on between some law enforcement, not saying all, but some law enforcement versus blacks, like the Philando Castile situation, or just racist vigilantes that Ahmaud Arbery suffered when he was jogging in the Bushwick, Georgia neighborhood, and they were to go ahead and stake him for just burgling or just robbing people, and then he was just murdered, just unwittingly. So that was just awful. But at the end of the day, man, Kanye West. He probably doing this as a marketing employee. You even had Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie, to his defense, yeah, he's right. He said, all the district, you gonna put that disrespectful stuff on after all our race went through. You kidding me? And he has every right to say that. I'm like, man, this is the same Kanye West. Well, I won't say the same Kanye West, but remember he said back in the day, I think it was like 03, 02, he said George Bush don't like black people. I mean, come on, man. Like what's going on, bro? Like you used to kind of, I guess, stood up for the African American culture, but it's just at the end of the day, man. I mean, you've been better off just having an All Lives Matter shirt, and even then, I just wouldn't kind of agree with that. But at least when the All Lives Matter shirt, you can kind of justify, why you wore that. You're like, okay, I believe that all lives should be able to come together. It should be no type of division. But the White Lives Matter shirt, come on now. Now people say, oh, how would you feel if a white person wears a Black Lives Matter shirt? I actually feel happy. I feel good. I know some white people who actually wears that, and there's nothing wrong with that because at the same time we know that the dark history in America, what African Americans went through in this country, okay, and we're in the 21st century, we still kind of going through that when it comes to authority compared to other people. Now, I'm not saying that all all law enforcement does this. They treat black people wrong. I'm not saying that, but some do. It's been some cases do it, and we have to put an end to that. And then when they had to have some type of accountability, and this is when I'm not gonna go into detail about that. My opinions about the whole defunding the police after the Minneapolis incident. But at the end of the day, man, this is just a marketing ploy, and most of his clothes are pretty much not affordable to like the average working middle class. I mean, you got people going ahead and try to buy these clothes and buy these shoes that's expensive. I mean, it's just something pretty much out of our element. So I don't even know, but he's doing this because he believes his profit is going to increase and he wants to get that white audience. And then Candace Owens, some people believe that Candace Owens is someone that just portrays her own race. She's a coon. That's what a lot of people believe, and that's what we display a lot of times. So she's like, hey, this is right in my element. I'm gonna go ahead and put this White Lives Matter shirt on. No, so this is all just a marketing ploy. He knew he was gonna get the attention, so I'm not surprised. No, I'm not gonna really go ahead and just entertain this foolishness here, but this is my thoughts, and I know if this videos get seen by a lot of people, people gonna have their opinions about me and say, oh, you're so inaccurate, I don't see what the matter is. They give me all the statistics that, oh, you really believe that black people are really getting killed by these cops all the time? What about the black on black crime? So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hear all of that, right? This black on black crime that happened in Chicago. Hey, yeah, if we can have a discussion, just make sure it's just respectful. But this is just my personal opinion here on this. I believe it's foolishness. You didn't have to wear the shirt. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the same Kanye West here when he was married to Kim Kardashian, of course had a few kids by her, and say that her family is just like the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna be kind of pro-black but not at the same time? It's just, you can't go back and forth, man. At the end of the day, it's just playing with our emotions. It just didn't make completely any sense whatsoever. But just my thoughts on this. This is completely foolish, and yeah, I just don't really care what this man do at this point. And I'm not surprised that Candace Owens jumping on this. But that's my thoughts on it. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this video. We can have a discussion in the community page when I share this video. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I'm out. Deuces.